At Columbia University today, the faculty flooding the campus in protest. Professors and researchers blasting university leaders for caving to a series of demands from President Trump in order to secure federal funding, and calling for the release of graduate student Mahmoud Khalil.
In the last few weeks, we've endured one crisis after another. There was the arrest and detention without charge of our former student Mahmoud Khalil.
The green card holder and pro-Palestinian activist is an Algerian citizen of Palestinian descent. He was detained by federal agents in New York, accused by Homeland Security of leading activities aligned with Hamas.
We don't want people in our country that are going to be committing crimes and undermining our national security or the public safety.
But now the Justice Department filing new allegations against Khalil, accusing him of breaking the law by failing to disclose membership in certain organizations in his permanent residency application, including that he was a member of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, a member of Columbia University Apartheid Divest, and that he was employed by the Syria office in the British Embassy in Beirut after 2022. According to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, it's considered fraud to misrepresent facts and conceal group memberships on such forms. Khalil's legal team did not comment on the allegations, but called the government's last-minute addition desperate.
They've added some sort of preposterous charges about some supposed inconsistency on his application, which we can deal with in the immigration court.
Khalil had initially been arrested under a rarely used immigration law, which gave the Secretary of State the authority to deport someone if it's determined that the person would have serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the United States, claiming his campus protests were aligned with Hamas, something Khalil's legal team denies and says there's no evidence of.
The only activities they've ever identified, which they say are contrary to the foreign policy interests of the United States, is his constitutionally protected speech and advocacy on behalf of Palestinian human rights.
This comes as Khalil's wife, Noor Abdallah, broke her silence on his arrest to CBS News.
My husband was taken away from me in the middle of the night. It was one of the most terrifying times of my life. I don't think I've ever experienced anything scarier than that.
You're going to be under arrest.
Abdallah, a U.S. citizen, recording the moments her husband was taken away by federal agents on March 8th, according to the ACLU, who released the video. Everyone's face except Khalil's was blurred by the ACLU. For now, Khalil remains in detention in Louisiana. As protests rage outside and a battle looms in court.
It's disgusting that that's what they're resorting to, that's the tactic that they're using to make him look like this person that he's not. Literally, it's so simple. He just does not want his people to be murdered and killed.
And with that, Antonia Hylton joins us tonight from outside Columbia University in New York City. Antonia, there seems to be two different cases happening here when it comes to Khalil's cases. There's one in New Jersey and one in Louisiana. How are they different?
That's right. His attorneys have to fight on two fronts right now. In Louisiana, Khalil is going through the immigration court process, so he has to appear in front of an immigration-specific judge on matters surrounding his permanent residency, his immigration status. But in New Jersey, that is federal court, and his attorneys are going to go in front of a federal judge and argue that the government's accusations against him are not just wrong, but unconstitutional. Their hope is that if they get a win there, that will invalidate what's happening at the immigration court level as well. But what's very likely is that we're going to see over the course of the next several days that they are splitting their time and fighting in two states at once, Tom.
Antonia Hylton for us tonight from New York City. Antonia, we thank you for that.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.